When you're talking about the modules right now, as we have discussed in the last week about the math module, like if you want to use any inbuilt functions in the math module, how can you do it? First thing what you have to do?
We have to import math.
Yes, you have to mention that you are referring to this function in this module, like you have to say import keyword, you have to say import math likewise, right? Then here, there's another module what you're going to talk about is the date module. Right now, when you're working with dates and the times, right now, you can directly use the date time module. Right now, this is also part of the standard library. Right now, here, let's see how can we deal with the date time module. Right. Therefore, remember, date in Python is not a data type of its own. Therefore, you can import the datetime module in order to work with the dates as date objects right now. By default, a date is not a Python data type, right? Therefore, if you want to work with the dates as data objects, you need to import the datetime module. Like now, if you want to import, you need to say import datetime. Right now, that is how you can import datetime. Right now, if you want to get the datetime, you can say we can print from this datetime module. You can get the datetime property dot now method. Right now, let's see how it's gonna work out. In desktop, as usual, we'll save it as ex.py. Right now, it shows you the date right now, the current date and time. Right now, this is the current date and time. Right. What you have to do is you have to refer this module date time and then you use date time dot now. Now, this output contains the year, month, date, and hours, minutes, seconds, and also seconds and microseconds. Yes, this is about microseconds. Right. Now, let's say if you only wants to get right now, let's say we'll get this into let's say x is equals to this, and then if you print the type of x, what do you think? Right now, you can see now this is a object of what? Date time, class date time, this package date time, this is the date time object because we have imported the date time module. Now, this date time module has many methods, and then datetime.now method has returned a object which is the date object which is containing the current date and time. Right now, from here, if you want, you can print right now. If you just print the x, that would be the full format. Right now, if you only wants to x dot here, x dot here, oh, it's not a method, it's a property. Yes, then you can only print the year right now. Quickly try out whether how it works on your one. Let's see, year, month, date, day, I guess, not date. Day, hour, microsecond, and I think the time zone, you can get time Z info. Then here it says time zone is none. And also, right now, this is how you create a date time objects, right? Now, using the now method, what we did was we have created a date time object which represent the current or the local date and time, right? Now, if you want to, let's say, if you want to create a date time object as in your own, now you can say instead of now, um, let's say date time, and then you're gonna pass the values. Right now, date time dot date time. We'll pass 2024, comma, let's say 12/31st, and let's say 10/15 and 24. Right now, it creates a date object. Right now, here you can see it generates a date object according to the values I have passed. I have passed the year, month, date, hour, minute, and second. And if you want, let's say the microseconds, right? Also, I have passed, and then right now, what if I do not pass these values right now? Let's say if I do not pass these values, now what will happen right now? If I only pass, let's say year, month, date only, I'm not gonna pass these values. So right now, what happens is all the other informations are optional values, and then zero get assigned to all and time zone get assigned to none. Therefore, when you are creating custom date object, remember, year, date, and time is must. You have to pass year, month, and the date. and hour, minute, second, microsecond time zone info are like hour, minute, second, microseconds get assigned default values as 0, where the time zone info get assigned none. Right? Right. Now, if you want to create a date time object by passing your own values, this is how you can do it. Right now, if you want to create a date of time object with the current date and local machine's current date and time, then you can use the now method. Right. Now, if you that is how you can create datetime objects. Right. Mm. Right now, if you feel like this is too lengthy, right now what you can do is uh, from from the datetime module, import datetime. Right now, you don't have to repeat this. From the datetime module, import datetime as well. Likewise, you can mention. See, now you can get rid of one datetime because now you have specifically you have imported the datetime module. Now you are referring to this datetime module. Right. Now, this is how you can do it. And also, you can import the um, date as well. You can import the date because when it comes to this here the date time module, right? Now have multiple classes about dates and times. Right now you can use that means what are the types? Date time, date, time, and time delta, time zone info. Likewise, there are different classes, right? Now, therefore, here we have only use the class date time. Right now, I will show you how to use the date class as well. Right now, if you say from date time, import date. Right now, let me remove these. Okay, let's have it. From date time, import date. Now I'm going to mention import date. Now x equals, now you're going to use the date, date dot today, date dot today. Right now, this is a class. Now, previously class was date time. Now, we have referred to the class date. Right now, this refers to the date. right?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So why do we get the time zone info as none when you are using now? Like if we don't define, no, we should get none. But in the
Yeah.
case also,
Here also we have received none, no? Yes,
yeah,
because
yeah.
the time zone info has not been sent to this Python module, the whatever the date module what you have created. Then you can, if you want to work with the time zone info, like now after the Python 3.11 release, 3.11, right now you have an like time zone. There's another class right now. I said in the date time module, we have date time class, we have date class, we have time class, and also we have time zone, time delta, time zone info, and time delta. There are different classes. We have time delta class. That means if you want to, like now, basically, if you want to deal with the difference between two date times or two date instance, right, then you have to work with the time delta. And also, if you want to have to work with the different time zones or the like different times, then you have to use the time zone info class. Right now, therefore, and also there's a new class added which is called as time zone. Right now, that is also implementing the time zone info class. Now, now it works with the UTC time zone, and let's try to do it with one exercise with time zone as well. And beforehand, we will use right now how to work with how to find the difference between two dates. Right, if we have two dates, how we can find out the difference between two dates. We'll see right now. What else? Now we have just discussed about the date right now. Or beforehand now. hmm Okay, from the things you have, right? Let's say now what I want you to do is I want you to try to figure it out. You can create a date object using the date time method by passing the values, and thereafter you can take the current date using the now method, and then you can calculate, you can get the month, day, and year separately using these properties, and thereafter you can find out what's the difference between your birth date, or you can calculate your age, or else like for the given two dates, what is the difference, what is the date difference, what is the what is the difference, like, oh, how old are you, likewise I want you to figure out. Quickly try out. Right now, when you get the 2 days difference, x minus y, now it returns a time delta object. Now you can see it returns the time delta object. Now the time delta object contains days and the right hours, and this is the remaining the difference between from 2024 January 1st to now. Right. Right now, if I want to calculate the number of years that has been passed, then I can get from this is a time delta object, right? DIFF dot days, DIFF dot days divided by floor division, 365. That means that will give me the number of years. Right now, this would give us the number of years. Yes. Right now, yeah. And then month I can calculate by DIFF dot. How can I calculate the months? How can I calculate by the month? How can I calculate the months? Can someone support me on that? DIFF dot days minus what? Divide y into 365. And that answer divided by 30. And that would give us the number of months. Okay. And the dates. How can I calculate the dates? DIFF dot days minus. We need to multiply the number of years we have found out and minus the number of months we have found out. Then right now it's a ballpark figure, right? Because like we are assuming that month contain 30, what do you call, like 30 dates, and the years contain 365 dates. Likewise, then this won't give you the exact answer, I guess, right? Then in this scenario, okay, anyway, how can we figure it out, like how to get the exact values? Right now, this is divided by, mm, that's it, right? And then that is the dates. Hmm. Then it says, let's say from 2024, August 1st to today. 1 month, 1 year, 0 months, and 8 days. Right now, today is 9th from first, no? Yes. Right now, likewise, you can figure it out. If you are born in 2020, you are born in 2020, January 1st. Now your age should be 5 years, 7 months, and 12 days. Right. Likewise, you can calculate, because if you don't know the exact values, right? Now, one of you have sent me the answer right now from date time object using the time delta. You do this, and thereafter from date time you input date time, you get the date time to now 2005 8. From date time import time delta. You use the time delta class now. The result is equals time delta x dot year, comma y dot year, print age. Right now, here that would be in days. Right now, this won't give you the answer exactly the way I want. Is there anyone else figure it out, calculating the date and time with the
Also, the answer also I get also it's kind of wrong. No? Like 2025 days means it isn't just doesn't seem correct. No?
2025 dates from 2005 to 2025? Then 20 years, right? Then, yes, obviously it has to be 7,000 something, no?
Yeah.
Yes, right. Now we'll figure it out. Is there anyone else who figured out this? Right now, let's talk about the time delta in a little while. Time delta class right now. Is there anyone else who figured this out? How to exactly say how many, what's the difference between two dates? because the way we have done is not be accurate because leap years may have 366 days and some months may have 31 days because we have used like some figures which are not accurate. Right now here, since you have got these x and y values right now, um, right now we can say rather going with this. In other terms, we have the difference is the same thing, right? Difference in x and y, and then right dates we would say right now we can say what the dates we can find out dd equals difference because we have the method that days and we can find out dd let's seconds we can get equals diff dot seconds, right? Thereafter, we can convert it to we can convert into hours, minutes, and seconds, and we can display thereafter. Then days can be done by days is equals to right now the days we have already dd and hours we can get it. You can do it for the months and years you can do it. I have showed you earlier. No? Right now, hours you can do it by seconds divided by 3,600. Then you can get the hours. You can get the minutes by and seconds modulus by 3,600 would give you the number of minutes, and then that should get divided by 60. And seconds, when you seconds divided by 60 would be by 60 divided by the time is now 4:54. 4 means 16. 54 means minutes. Seconds is 7, right? Now that's how you can come up with this. And then right now, if you want to get the right now, then you can say days, this number of days, this hours, this minutes, this seconds. Likewise, you can come up with this. Because why we can't here get the exact number of months and exact number of days is the problem because the years may have 365, 366. Likewise, the years, the number of days per year will differ. Right, every leap year has 366 days, and other years has 365 days. And also, when it comes to the the months, right? Some months have 30 days and some months have 31 days. Likewise, and now some months has 28 days in February. Like now, therefore, a month duration may change from 28 to 31, and the year duration may goes from 365 to 366. That is why we can't come up with an accurate the date and the months, dates and the months only with this module. Only with this module that is unable to do because the time delta objects only stores days and seconds. Time delta only stores days and seconds. Then here we have the days from the seconds. When you right now the number of hours right now we need to figure out how many hours. Like when we have given the seconds, right? 60 seconds is 1 minute and 60 minutes is 1 hour. Then per hour you have 3,600 seconds. Therefore, when you divide by 3,600 from the total number of seconds, then you get number of hours, right? And when you divide seconds by when you modulus 3,600, right? That means you have the number of minutes available. Right now, the number of minutes like that. Now here you are modulusing by 3,600. No, that means number of hours right now. Then hours right now. Then you have remaining something, and that divided by 60 seconds. That means 1 minute. 1 minute is 60 seconds. Then once you divide it by 60, you get the number of minutes, and then the seconds here. That means here right now. Thereafter, you have this right now. If you want to convert into days and months, so that means days into years and months, you have problem because you have to come up with some assumptions. Otherwise, right now thereafter, we have to use another module in order to come up with these years and that months in order to capture the years and the months, right? All right. And also when it comes to a datetime object, right? Now when you have a datetime object, now when you get the difference, it returns the time delta object. When you get the today method, right now date.today will return a date object, and likewise the differences. And now when you have a datetime object, right now, if you have properties like days, months, years, hours, minutes, seconds, and time zone. Likewise, we can get the values. Like now, there's another method as well that you can use with those. That is what you call as string format time, strf time method. Right now, strf time method is used to format the data objects into readable strings right now. Then here there are some different parameters which you have to pass for this TRF time method, and it takes only one parameter, and then based on the parameter it format and return the value as a string. Right now, for an example, if you want to figure it out right now, how to use it. Let's say now this is the date time that now I have taken, and then if you want to print, you can say x dot strf times, and we have to pass the parameter. Right now, if you pass, let's say capital A as a string, we need to pass right now, then that would return the whether it is a weekday, whatever the day. Right now, you can see Saturday. Right now, likewise, there are different parameters that we can use. Right now, simple A would give you the shorter version of it. Right. Now, likewise, then you can use right now capital B, and if you use capital B, that gives you capital B and simple B. What is simple B? Right now, let's see. Now it gives you the month, August. AUG means the August. Likewise, you can see. Right now, then if you want to get the day, then you have to use the D here. The day would be given by D, let's say, and if you want to get the month, you can get it by M, and if you want to get the year, that is can done by simple Y, and capital Y also returns the year in full format. Likewise, you have an let me find out the values and send it to you. I will send it to you via chat, a link where you can refer it, and you can see how the strf time behaves. Right now, from this you can figure out. Now you don't have to by heart these parameters, right? Right now, after referring to the link which I have sent you, I want you to print like this in this format. Try to do use the parameters as required and send me the answer. Right. Now, here you can see when you use capital Z or simple Z, that has written an empty string, right? That has written an empty string. Right now, why do you think right now the reason for that? Because datetime objects, right now here we have X, and X is the datetime object. So the datetime object is name, and therefore no time zone info attached. Therefore, capital Z or simple C, which is used to return the time zone data, will give you an empty string. Therefore, if you want to display the time zones right now, then you need to make sure the datetime object is time zone aware. Right now, for that, you may have to use a different module, right? Right now, we know to do that right now, since without installing a different module, right now, we will see whether I don't know whether it is installed on my version. Yeah, let me quickly figure it out how to work with the zone info. Oh, shall we try out UTC time? Okay. Mm. Okay, send me the answer for this one quickly, then I'll show you how to work with the UTC time zone. Okay, quickly send me the answer for this format, answer in this format quickly, and there I have sent you a link where you have all the formats. Right. Okay, this is the answer sent by one of you, and yes, you have taken date, time, and the day. Right. Okay, using this. Okay. I don't know about these right now who was this, and I guess Akil Akil no, AK Sanich Kalis. Right now, okay, what is this F? I don't know what is this F and what are those? I don't know yet about those. Therefore, could you please help us? And then you have passed multiple values here. We are not aware about how to pass the multiple values. Therefore, is there any other way to do that? A simple way of doing it, achieving this task, because we are not that advanced. Right now, what is this? On 9th August 2025 at 4:45 p.m. It was Saturday. Right. Now you use on the same print command with multiple parameters. Okay. Anyone else who has done it in the easiest way of understanding? On 9th August 2025 at 5:14 p.m. It was Saturday. Right. Okay. I assume now you are okay with it. Right now, let me show you one example with time zones and how we can work with right now. Basically, if you want to work with the time zones right now, you may have to use another package right now, another module, right? You have to use PYT or Python time zones, or that is for the name time zones. Right now, you may have to install the Python name time zones module, PYTZ, right? And then either you have to install and try out that. Otherwise, you need to use the zone info time zone, and thereafter you have to work with the module zone info. Right now, since we have not installed the zone info or Python time zone, therefore I will show you how to work with the UTC time zone. Hmm. Right now, from the datetime module, I'm going to import the datetime class, and I'm going to import the time zone class, datetime, time zone, and time delta class. From datetime, time zone, and time delta classes, and then let's see. We'll get the UTC time now. Right now, UTC time zone. Universal time zone right now, UTC is equals to, we're going to use the time zone class, time zone dot UTC. Let's say we'll call it as UTC TZ. And right, then time in according to the UTC time, UTC time. UTC time is equals to, we have to get the date time class now, date time dot now method would return the date time object without the time zone details, because its time zone info is not saved inside the date time objects. Therefore, we have to make sure it is aware about the time zone. So I'm gonna pass the time zone here, UTC time zone. Right now, I'm gonna pass the time zone here. Right, and then we can print it and see. We can say current UTC time. UTC time, right. Now it says UTC time is now 11:48:44. Right. Now we need to convert that into the custom time zone, let's say according to our time zone. Right now we are 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead, right? plus 5:30. So let's create a time zone. Our okay, SL. We'll have SL time zone. SLTZ is equals to using the time zone method. We'll use the time zone, and now we need to pass the number of hours and the minutes. For that, we'll use time delta, time zone time delta, and then we need to say number of hours. How many hours? Hours is equals to 5. And minutes, we have to say 30 minutes, 5 hours and 30 minutes. Right now, we can get the SL time. SL time is equals to, right now, SL time is equals to the date time that now we need to pass the SL time zone info. SL time zone, SL time zone, and current, we can say current time, current SL time is SL time. What does it say? Some minutes in my end. Right now, if you search on the internet, like what is the Sri Lankan time and what is the UTC time for now, what is the UTC time now? You will see UTC time is in this, and this is the SL time zone, which is plus 5 hours and 30 minutes from that. Right now, this also, if you want, you can format it, and then you can do it. Right now, what was the answers I have seen? Right now, we can, instead of this, we could use SL time dot strf time. Hours, minutes, on hours, minutes, and hours, minutes, and time zone. Minutes, time zone, and one simple format. So yes, the same thing we can do here as well. Now you can see the time zone. Now it shows you the capital C info, which is the time zone is UTC. And now for the Sri Lankan time zone is UTC plus 5:30. Likewise, you will be able to format it as well. Right now, this is how you can work with the time zone as well. I think that is enough for the date module. And quickly try out this and let me know. Then I can go ahead with our own modules. How we can create our own custom modules. Right now, it's a separate file called mycode.py. These are the methods you have declared. Let's save it. Right now, we're gonna import the my code as M. Right now, let's say you're gonna get the radius from the user input. Right now, radius is if it is 5. Then you calculate the area, circumference, and the diameter. Right. That's how you could work with your own custom modules right now. Any questions up to now regarding the modules you can ask now.
No, sir, no questions.
Right, great. Okay, then I need to go through these what was it? Exception handling, right? I have made a note last time. Yeah, exception handling, file handling, and stream formatting. Okay. Then we'll go for exception handling, right? Now, right now, this way, we may require this, right, more frequently when we are trying to connect to the databases and then we are reading from the outside. Likewise, we may have to use this exception handling. Here we'll see how can we handle the exceptions in Python right now. And thereafter here also we got some errors, the syntax errors, we got name errors, we got like in the previously. Likewise, we have module not found error. Let's say now I'm gonna import like math my math as m right now. There is no such module called my math, right? And then I'm getting an error saying module not found error because there is no such module called my math saved inside the same folder right now. Here I have saved both files in the same folder. So that's why I'm referring it now inside the folder. There is no file called my math. So I'm getting an error. So right now we will see how can we figure out, how can we find out how to handle this kind of errors if you have. Right now, basically, there are few components that you need to remember when it comes to exception handling. You need to know there's something called, right, in other programming languages, we call as try catch, try block. Inside the try block, we're going to put all the codes that we suspect that might raise an error during the runtime. And there's a catch clause which will handle the exception thrown inside the try. Right. Then in Python, right now we have except, try, except. We have try, except. Right. So we will see how can you do that right now. We will leave this for a while now. Now here we will see this kind of errors later on. For the time being, I'm going to clear that. Right now, let's say here I'm going to print x. There's nothing called x declared, then I'm just printing x. Therefore, I'm getting an error, name error, because there is no such variable called x. Then if I have to rather stop in the program, right, let's say thereafter print and I have something called n. Now that won't get printed. Therefore, if I suspect if that particular code segment may throw an error, then I could put that inside the try block. Try and thereafter end of the try block, I need to follow the try block the except. If you do not follow an except after try, then again you will get an error. Syntax error expected except or finally because it is expected after try except or finally block. Therefore, either you have to have except block or finally block. Then we will see what was it later on, what is the finally, and we will discuss. An error occurred, an exception occurred, or an error occurred. Right now, I'm going to say an error occurred. And I'm going to save it. Right now, what happens is, right now, here, if you want to print, you need to have print, right? Print an error occurred. Then right, rather stopping the program. Now this x is not available right now. If I have x equals 10, right, no worries, that would print 10 and it print end. By any chance, if this x is not available, right now, now we should get an name error. No? Now here, if it is an error, now if it is an error occurred here, this will throw an error for sure, saying x not found. Then here it will go to this and says an error occurred. That because try has thrown an error, then except block has catch that. Except block has handled the error. Therefore, whatever the code we have put inside the except will display it. And thereafter, after this, it will continue the code printed. If it is not handled, it will just stop the program like this, no? Name error, and likewise, it will display something like this. Rather stopping the program, we can handle the exceptions. Therefore, if it is an exception, that means when an error occurs or an exception, right, we call it as an exception has been thrown. Therefore, Python normally if an error occurred or an exception happens, right, it will stop the normal the program flow and it will show the error message. Therefore, in order to handle the errors, we can use the exception handling. Therefore, these exceptions are handled inside the try except blocks. Therefore, the code you that suspect that will throw an exception or it will generate an error during the runtime, you could put that inside the try block and then thereafter you can follow the try block using except or a finally block in order to display whatever the message you want to do it. Therefore, when the try block raise the error, the except block will get executed. If the try block raise the error, if and only if the try block raise the error, except block get executed. Right now, for an example, if x equals 10, if we have already, now the except block won't get executed because except block won't get executed because there is no error raised from inside the try block. If it is not declared, then only the try block will raise an error. Therefore, then the except block get executed. Except block get executed. Right. And then not only this except, now except is a general term, right? Then if you want, you can have the errors. Right now, you can have the specific errors. Right now, let's say what you gonna call syntax error. Let's say 5 divided by 0. Right now, you can say an error occurred. No? Let's say now previously we ended up by getting the name error. Therefore, if it is a name error, except name error, I'm going to define the name error. Now you can see the name error cannot handle this error because this error is a zero division error. Right now, therefore, here you can have, let's say now syntax error. Now the syntax error cannot handle this because this is zero division error. Right now, therefore, you need to have the respective except if you have specified the exception handler, then you need to have that. The syntax error occurred and zero division error occurred. Right now, if none of these has happened, right now the superclass you can have except. That means if you have defined just except, that means uh, if it is none of these, then that will handle by the except, that is the super type. Right now, that is the super type of this one. Right now, for an example, now I'm gonna have uh, I'm gonna say m dot high. You're gonna have m dot high. Right now, m dot high, then you are getting an error, name error occurred because the first inside the try block, m dot high will return an error saying cannot find M. Therefore, you get M.type name error. Okay, therefore that is handled by this. And if it is not, right now this would handle by a zero division error. Zero division error. Right now, likewise, it will handle this right now. And let's say I'm gonna have import my code, mu code. Right now, you can see import my code. You get right now module not found error. So module not found error is not declared here. So that would be handled by the super type because it cannot handle by name error, that cannot handle by syntax error, that cannot handle by zero division error. Therefore, that can handle by the super type, which is except we have not specified the specific handler. Therefore, that is a general one. Therefore, it displays an error. Okay, right now this is how you can work with this. Right now, now this is what I want you to do. I want you to ask user to enter a number. Um, and two numbers, and then you need to check whether if the user has entered two numbers, let's say therefore if we are dividing now take two numbers from the user and divide the first number by the second number, and if the second number is zero, then when you are dividing you will get an error, right? So I want you to handle that exception. And also, I want you to handle like when you're asking user to enter inputs. Right now, user may type not without numbers. User may enter letters. Then try to handle that error as well. Right now, if it is an invalid input, try to handle that error as well. Then print the results, whatever. If there is no error occurs, if there's an error, you have to display the specifically error saying cannot divide by zero, and also input numbers only. Likewise, you need to handle the errors rather stopping the program. Okay, quickly do it and send it to me via chat, please. Why this is not handled here? Because you are doing this, taking the input is before the try block. You are doing the division inside the try block. So, yes, you will be getting this error. Because if you put this inside, now if you enter something, you get a value error occurred. Like now, you can say value error occurred. Rather displaying value error, you can say input numbers only. Only numerical inputs, only numbers. You can say only numbers. Right. Now, because rather stopping the program, you're asking if you use enter something, you say only numbers. And even if user enters a number, let's say, then cannot zero division error, you can say rather you can display here cannot divide by zero. Or you can say denominator has to be a non-zero value. Cannot divide by zero. Likewise, and then okay, when you will get the syntax errors, tell me how you get the syntax error, how you get the syntax error here.
Like in the code we write to get the input, if we don't use twos, a pair of semicolons.
Okay, right,
No,
good.
not a pair of semicolons, a pair of double quotes.
Here, then that, right, okay. Right, then overflow error.
That I got when the numerator is too large.
Numerator is too large.
Oh, the other, I'm not sure.
Then it says only numbers, value error. It gives you value error. Why? Because you are taking an integer. Right now, that's why I have put a decimal value. Right. Okay, this is how you can handle the exceptions, right? Now, right now, let's say I want you to have a list, and I want you to ask user to enter the index number, and if the index is outside, like let's say we have only 10 values, and if the user asks to print the 11th index value, there is no such index, no. Then I want you to handle that invalid index number. And if it is a input is a different text value, if user has entered, then you have the invalid input. Quickly try out that. You have to have a list. Let's say I will declare the list. We don't need this to. Right now, let's say we have a list. LT is equals to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 70. I want you to ask user to enter the index number to return the value. And then if the index number is not within the given range, you need to say invalid out of range. And if user has entered word, you need to say right now on invalid input. Likewise, quickly do it and send it to me. Okay, index. So I you'll ask the index, right? Then you're gonna print mm, whatever the index value is, value of I is LT, the index. Right. Then I'm gonna have value error here, value error only numbers, okay, only numbers, and then index error. You may get index error. Like let's say we don't know the index error right now. Hmm. We don't know what is the index error it could handle right now because of the except it can handle everything. Therefore, let me comment out it. Right now, if I run this, if I enter 15, this error I'm getting index error. So we'll get it first, and then index error. We can say index out of range. Right, index out of range. Right now, if it is if you want to handle any error, that you can have the except, only except, rather specifying the error type. Now, if you have a different one, you will get index out of range. The negative indexing also working, right? And if it is a number, tag letters you have entered, that would give you only numbers. Likewise, right? Now, if there is no errors occurred, if there is no errors occurred, okay, if there is no exceptions, then you can have the else. If there is no exception occurs, if that means if there is no errors were raised, then um, we can have the else statement as always. Right now, print, you can say all went well. If user entered correctly, it would display all went well. If it is out of bound, then the whatever the exception handler would get displayed, index out of range. Then the else will get not displayed. Right. Right. Now, without exception, we can have finally as well. Uh, Without an exception, even after the exceptions, you can have the finally block as well. Finally, there we can say finally executed. Finally executed. Now, if you have used finally, right now you can see after the finally, you can't put else because anyway, the finally will get executed. Therefore, you can't put else after finally, right? Right now, if it is error, then it says index out of range and it says finally executed. That means even an error raised, right now the finally clause get executed. Right now, if it is correct value, then no errors occurred, but the finally get executed. Therefore, if you use the finally keyword, if you're using the finally block, it will be executed regardless the error. That means whether the error has been raised or not, finally will get executed. And also, if you are using a try block, it must follow by an except block or try except finally or try and finally. If you are using a try block, it must follow by except. Right now, let me write down the you can have try and then except. If you want, you can have try, except, else. You can have try, except, and finally. Or you can have try and finally. Right. Now, if you use except block, right now, whether it is correct, error has been raised. Now here, no error has been raised, but still it says finally executed. Now this time error has been occurred. Now you can see value one of index out of range, index error will display, but the final executed, finally executed. Now it would display finally executed because this error has not been handled. Then um, the finally executed, right? Therefore, remember, if you use the finally block, right, no matter whether error has been raised or not, the finally block will get executed, right? Therefore, we have discussed about try. Try block is where you put the code that might fail. Except block in order to catch the specific exceptions. Therefore, if you're going to name the exception, the error type, then you can have multiple excepts, right? Else is to, if there is no exception, then you can execute the else. Finally runs no matter whether the error has been raised or not. Right. Now I want you to, let's say, raise our own exceptions right now. For an example, I want to, what? Mm, 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 mm. Ask user to enter the age. And if the age is less than 18, um, I want to raise an error, let's say custom error. Let's say value error. I want to raise a value error uh, saying age must be at least 18 or something. Otherwise, it should display access granted. How can you do that? Let's say custom errors. Right now, we're going to come up with to raise an error right now. I will show you a small code, then you can try out the exercise I asked you to do. Right now, let's say we ask user to enter the whatever the value here. Right now, I is the index number. Right now, if this is a negative value, if this is a negative value, I want to raise an error. Right now, if it is a negative value, I'm gonna if okay, right now we can put the try blocks later on. Right now, if I is less than zero, if I is less than zero, I want to raise. If I want to raise an exception, or I want to raise exception, or I can raise a value error. Let's say value error, capital V A L U is right. Value error, saying index can no negative numbers, no negative numbers, no negative number. All right, now this is the error, and otherwise I need to say print the input number. Input number is right now. Now if it will ask for the index number, but it says no negative number, right? If it is one, it says input one. If it is minus one, it will raise a value error. Now it will raise a value error. This is a custom error, no negative number. Right now, if you want, you can put that inside the try blocks as well. Let's say if you want, you can. Let's say I'm gonna declare a function and inside validate. I have a function called validate, and this is the function. Right now, okay. Right now, if I want to right now this is my function. This is my function, and I'm going to call the inside the try block. I'm going to call the validate function. Try inside. I'm going to say validate. Right now, let's say we have the input also taken inside here, and right now I'm going to call the validate function, and if it is accept. Or you can specifically look for the value where I accept value where print error. Okay. And I want to, if I want to display the array as well, we'll see how can you do that as well. Uh, uh, uh. Right, if it is index one, no worries. If it is a negative index, then error occurred displays. And if you want to display the error as well, see, and I'm gonna display the message as well because we are passing a value here. No? That I'm gonna create an object here, and then I'm gonna get it to there. And if it is a negative one, and it says error occurred, no negative number. And likewise, we can have our custom exceptions as well. Right now, we can create custom exceptions. Right now, I want you to ask user to enter the let's say two numbers, and if the denominator is zero. Right now, or else let's say if the user's age is less than 18, let's say ask user to enter the age. If it is less than 18, you need to display an error saying syntax error. Let's say I want you to return a syntax error, not allowed, minus not allowed. If it is above 18, you need to say access granted. You quickly do it and send me the answer via chat, please. If it is 10, you will get an error. Yes, okay, you have entered a valid error. No worries, I asked you to do a syntax error, but it's just a minute, right? Right here, you're writing syntax error. Okay, good. Now, this is how you come up with exception handling. Right now, hereafter, when you are dealing with file management or the database connections, you have to mainly focus on this exception handling as well. Right. And now again, we have to do file handling, exception handling. We are done exception handling, no file handling and string formatting. It won't take much time when it comes to string formatting. So we'll start with the string formatting today. And the next day, we will do file handling and the database connections. Okay. Right. Now let's go with the file string formatting. Right. Now, when it comes to string formatting, right now, I think you may have already seen some of your answers like started with F keyword. Right now, you have used F, right? And that is what you call as F strings. Right now in Python, F strings were introduced in Python 3, actually around 3.7, I guess. And in order to format strings, right now, um, you can use the the F strings to format strings. Right now, beforehand, right now, we could use the old way of using the string formatting. Right now, for an example, if you have x equals 10, okay, let's say name equals Jane and age equals 10. Right now, if you have two variables and then if you want to print, right now you print name, you print name. Right now, how can you do that now? Uh, I wanted to print the name variable right now here, and the age name is this, whatever the name, and comma, age years old. Right now, this is what I wanted to do. Right now, how can I do that? How can I do that? Any idea? Now, how can I print the placeholders? How can I use the placeholders? Now, many of you have sent me the answers, right?
Means without F strings, we can't do such a thing.
F string, we can't do such a thing. Hmm.
No, no, I'm just asking question.
Let's say name is, can you do it like this? Name is modular says like in other programming languages, can you do it? And modulus D years old and mm, name and age. Can you print like this? See? Now this is not f string. Now this is the very pretty old way of doing this using the modulus operator, right? Here you say this is a string. S means string value you are expecting. Here by any chance, here you have passed age. Age is an integer value, right? Now you can say here now here it says name is 10 and years old right now. Okay, is there any difference between right now here? Let's say if I put S here. Right now it says now the placeholder I have mentioned it as S right now. Now it says 10 years old likewise. Right now here actually is there any difference between modulus S, modulus D? Likewise we need to figure it out. Right now uh, modulus S is used to string placeholder right now. If you mention it as a modulus S right now, whatever the value we are passing would be considered as a string, would be converts the value into a string. And if you put let's say D, and if you put D, that means you are expecting D, and let's say we are passing only the name. We are passing only the name right now. Let's say now if it is S for string, D for numbers, right now you get an error. Why? Because you are expecting a number, but you have passed a string value. Therefore, here you will get a type error because now when you use the placeholder as modulus S, write down the placeholder modulus S is for string. Therefore, it doesn't matter. If you pass any value and if you put modulus S, then that would print it. That would convert a given value to a string. That would convert any given value to a string. Therefore, it won't be an issue. But if you say modulus D, that means uh, it would expect an integer value. It would expect an integer values. Right now, strings S, if it is a string S, right now that means it would convert. Right now, if you have put right now, remember for your knowledge, if it is S, if you have used right now, that means meaning a string, convert, convert to string. You are expecting a string and convert to a string. If it is D, if it is D, that means you are expecting a number, you are expecting a number, decimal integer. Right now, not expect, yes, expect, not accept, expect a decimal integer. Right now, if it is like you are expecting a floating value, right now, then you have try with F. That means you are expecting a float. You expect float. Right now, likewise we have, and then right now if it is a hexadecimal octal, likewise have, I can't remember. Let's say GPA or something. I have GPA is 3.4. Then
Excuse me, sir, for that float, we don't need that modulus D.
no, only F. Only F name is just 10 years old and GPA is modulus F. And because if you have now you are expecting right now first one, this has to be S right now. This is converts a string and expecting a string. And this is D means expecting an integer. Here F means expecting a float value. Name, age, GPA. Right now it gives you 3.400000 likewise. Then right now if you want to give you only two decimal points right now, let's say 3 point we have 457 like something like this. And then if you want to give only two decimal points, then you can put like that 0.25f modulus point 2f modulus point modulus point 2f, right? Then you are specifying you need only two decimal numbers to be displayed. Now you specify this is for two decimal numbers to be displayed. Right now, this is pretty old way of doing it. And thereafter, the Python had something called format function. We had like string.format. Right thereafter, we had string format. Right now, this is a pretty old way of doing it using the modulus operator. Try on, remember S is for string, convert any value to string. If it is D, expect an integer. If it is F, expect a float value. Okay. Right now, if it is the format value, right now you can say hello. Right now, the same thing. Right now, you could do it using the same thing. You can say instead of placeholder modulus s, you can have placeholder, right? Curly brackets, and here curly brackets, and here curly brackets. Right, then after the double quotes, you say format, and you pass the values name, age, GPA. Right now, instead of to avoid the confusion, I'm going to remove the dot operator after the decimal value here. Right now, name is Jane, 10 years old, GPA is this. Likewise, then you use the format function. Right now, you can use the format. Right now, when you're using format, um, right now, if you want to put right now decimal values as well. Right now, if you want to put two decimal values right now, how can you do that? I think 0.2f. No. That I need to check. I can't remember. Okay. I will let you know how can you do that if you want to format here. Right. Not only this, if you want to order, if you want to order the variables, let's say name is 0. Okay, let's say I'm gonna put the name variable second, right? Now age name GPA. Likewise, this is the order I have right now. If you print it would play name is 10 Jane years old. Therefore, I can say name is 1 first placeholder and age is a 0th placeholder and GPA is 2. Likewise, you can rearrange as well. Right now, if you want, you can have the labeling for the placeholders as well. Right now, if you do not put the labeling for the numbered placeholders, then according to the order you have passed, it would get worked. Otherwise, if you label it, then according to the labels, it will work out. Right now, let's see. And also, you can have the named placeholders as well. Let's say in name, and here, like let's say I'm going to use name in, and here this one let's say I'm going to use x equals this and y equals this, and GPA is equals z. Right, then you can display y equals age X equals name, and Z equals GPA. Likewise, then you can have right now the named variables like this as well. You can have the named variables like this as well. Right now, here why that this one won't work. Let's check out. Volume 2F here. All right, okay. Colon point 2F. And when it comes to naming conventions, will it work? Yes, and here also this. This is how you do it. In order to have two decimal points, let's say if you want to have three decimal points, likewise you can you can format it as the way you want. Right now, point 2f means here like point 3f means here 3 means the number of digits for the float. Right now, this is the using the format function, right? Now using the format method, this is the modulus operator or the percentage operator, the way of doing it, and thereafter we have the way we can do it easily, that is the f strings. Right now, this is available after Python 3.7. Then I guess yes, then that is f strings right now. We call it as f strings. Right now, in order to use the f strings right now, because right now what's new in the f strings right now? Actually, f strings were introduced in Python 3.6. This is the way of formatting strings right now. Before this 3.6 Python version, that means before f strings were introduced, the format method has to used. Right now, once you have the f string, right now you can have you can easily format the strings using the f strings right now. Now, for an example, in order to make a string, okay, before we go into the f string, could you please try these ones quickly? I'll give you 2 minutes and then we'll start with the f strings. Right now, if you want to create f string, mm, let's say message, right, you can say f message equals f hello. How are you? Likewise, or you can just create a string and then you can print the message. Right now, this is how you create a f string right now. And let's say I'm gonna here we have price variable. Let's say there's a variable called price. Let's say 150.99. And I have another variable called quantity, QTY, is equals 10. Let's say user input values. Right now, let's say we take it. No, you can take it right now. I'm not going to write the input methods right now. This is hard-coded values right now. If you want, you can have a message saying your total for Total for right now, we need to display the quantity, total for quantity, total for 10 items, total for 10 items, per item price. Item price is, let's say we're gonna display item prices, price, and quantity required these total is total is right now we need to have the total. Right now, we have not, let's say now here we have total is equals to price multiplied by quantity. Right now, let's say here total is stopped. Right now, you can have a string like that. Then it says item price is 150.99, quantity required is 10, and then let's say item price is, and can have the dollar sign here. Okay. You can say item price is 150.99, quantity required is 10, the total is 1509.9. Right. Okay, now this is how you could do this. Right now, if you want to display in two decimal points, then you can say price colon point 2f and the total also colon point 2f. Right now, you can say, right, you need the answers in two decimal points. Right. And also the total, I don't need to do this here. And then if I want to calculate, calculate this inside this variable, right now, if I want here, I could do this. Right now, I can calculate this, and then here instead of total, here I can right now the total value I can calculate inside the placeholder itself. Right now, I can do the operation inside the placeholder. Now, this is one advantage of using placeholders because now, right, you can perform any operation inside the placeholder. Right now, because placeholder may contain the name for the variable, or it could be right now. Variable, it could be operator, it could be a function, or it format the value likewise. Therefore, placeholders, and we could have it as a modifier as well. Right now, therefore, remember inside the placeholders now the important. Now here you are modifying the format. You are formatting, and here you are performing an arithmetic operator, and you are formatting as well. If you do not format it here, right now you don't need to put the brackets. You can just say price into quantity. Right now, here it won't give you two decimal numbers. Right now, since you won't have two decimal numbers here, you can put it inside the round brackets. Then it is a one value, and then colon point two f. Right now, we'll give you the right now. What is it? Point two f is not missing. Point two f is missing. Right now, that is how you can use the placeholder for to perform arithmetic operator or mathematical operator as well as to modify as well. Right now, even if you want to have 10% tax as well, right now from this value also you could add a tax value as well. Likewise, you can do as well right now. And also let's say you need to have another one value. The total is this. And let's say slash n. Uh, like if you put slash n, that would go to the next line. Right now, after slash n, I'm going to say purchase or not decision, let's say decision, we have something called decision, and the decision is to right now decision is decision purchase or not, likewise, let's say. Okay, then if you want to have an if condition inside this, that is also possible. Right now you can have right now purchase, it would display purchase. Right now you can't have the same string, like, because right now here we have used double quotes to define a string, therefore I'm going to use single quotes. The purchase if the total, now here we don't have the total here. All right, then we can have if price into quantity is, if price into quantity, if price into quantity is less than, if the price is quantity is less than 5,000, else don't purchase, don't purchase. Right. Okay, and then that's it. Then here you can see right now here we have put an if condition as well. Right now, whether the to display decision as well. Right now, if it is less than 5,000, we say purchase. Otherwise, don't purchase. Right now, let's say here if it is price is 1,500, then it says don't purchase. Right now, likewise, you can have do not purchase. Right now, the problem is now I can't put the single comma there because I have used single comma don't, and because I have put string delimiter as a single quotes. Therefore, I can't put don't comma. All right, now, likewise here, you could use the f strings in this format as well. Right, there are a lot of formattings available, and I will send you a list of formattings available. That means you could do left align, right align, center align. Likewise, you can do the you can use the formatting as well. Right now, let's say now I will use quantity. The price is quantity is if you want to center line, you could do something like this. Then you can see here quantity is required is 10. Right now, don't show no. Uh, we'll try it in a different one. Okay, try out this for a while and thereafter we'll see how to do the formatting. I will send you a link via the chat. Right now, even here, if you don't want to display different one, you don't need to print inside. You don't need to define a separate one, assign into a variable. You can do it directly inside the print command as well, print method as well. Right now, here, if you use right now, it will be easier to show you some values. Right now here, you can have, let's say, right. Now, you know how to specify two decimal points, 0.2f, and then if you wanna, let's say, if you wanna have it to a left align, right, then you have say colon and right now left align with 10 spaces, let's say 10. Right now, let's see what's gonna happen. Right now, this is the left align, and you can have the right now. Afterwards, if you have something, then you will see it. Right now, here you can see here you have given some spaces right now. If it is the other way. Now this is for the right align, left align, and also if you want to have the center line as well, then you go with this center line. Right now, this is for the center line, left, right, center, and right now this is how you do it. And if you don't want to have if there is no decimal values, and if there is no decimal values, let's say now price is this, and let's say 25.99, and I don't want to display, I want to display the percentage of it, and then I can say colon 0%. Right now you can see 25.99. Right now, right now it's colon dot zero. Right now, no decimal points required. Okay. We'll have decimal value 1 point, okay, 0.15 after dividing by 100. That means 15% or 0.15. Therefore, this is how it displays right now without decimal values. Let's say if you have two decimals right now, you can see here 15.00, two decimal points, right? Likewise, you can have it. This is how you can modify. Then I have already sent you a link where you can figure it out. Now remember, inside the strings now, you could inside the placeholder, it could be a variable name, it could be an operator, it could be a method call, it could be a modification to the given value. That means you are modifying or you are formatting the value likewise. Therefore, hereafter, we can use F strings everywhere, wherever we have to use right now. Let's say I want to display a sign number as well. Let's say, okay, quantity is 10. Mm, I want to display the quantity QTY, and I want to display the sign number. Right now, I will say quantity colon plus. Okay. Then it says plus 10, and then if you want to have a negative value, you could have the negative value as well. Right now, this is a positive value, no, therefore, right now, even I have put this right now, this is a negative, if it is a negative value. then it shows as the negative value. Right now, if you put plus, that is how you can use the sign numbers. Right now, even you can see if it is used plus with the negative value, it won't show you. But if it is a positive value, positive values won't show you the sign, right? But if you want to display the plus operator here, that is also possible that you can do using the sign numbers right now. And here without decimals, and then the 0.156. And if you only have 0.1 F, right now you can have 15.6%. Likewise, the percentages also can be given. Right. Now, this is for the left align. You can say left align by 10, and this is for the right align. This is for the center line. This is for the left align. Hello part. Let's remove it. Don't need them. This is for the left align, this is for the right align, this is for the center alignment, and this is for the 0%, 0 decimals, and this is 1 decimal percentage. This is for sign numbers, right? And you can have the negative value as well. And there are a lot of other modifiers as well. And let's say if you want to display 10 in binary format. Okay, very good. I forgot it. Binary value of binary value of QTY is I want to display the binary format. Right now, then I would mention it as B. Very importantly, right now, you can calculate this. Right now, if it is, okay, 256, okay. If it is 255, right now you can see how can you, 85. Likewise, if you want, you can calculate the binary value of this. If you want to calculate the, what else? Hexadecimal, X, X value of is, then you need to mention it as X. And right now, 1000 separators, let's say, 8,000, this one, right. Now, separators. Quantity, and then you need to have comma 3,000 separators that you could do here. And also what else? Right now you have binary formatting, hexadecimal. What else you want? You want to convert to Unicode character as well. That is also possible. Unicode. Unicode value of, let's say we'll have a small one then. A equals 65, let's say. Unicode value of A is, right now we need to try Unicode now. How to convert into a Unicode? See. 65 is A. And then thousand separated using commas you can use, or else if you want underscores, that also possible. Right, then you can use underscores. Uh, Likewise, you can have there are some other formats as well, and then octal we have binary, hexadecimal, we forgot octal. Octal is right now that is how you represent the octal values. Right now, this is how you deal with the strings. Right now, these are very important. Like now, whenever you have questions right now to calculate the binary values, you don't have to convert it. Just open the command prompt and then type, type Python here, py, right? Yes, you can open the Python interpreter, and then if you just want to calculate the binary value of it, or if you want to find the code value of anything, just type this. And what is it? Then you got value of 64. Let's say 64 is, you can figure it out right now, or else like you can have the variable declared first, and thereafter you could try out. Then likewise, you can easily work out this functions right now because of this string formatting. You could easily figure it out rather writing programs. Like easily, you could do this. Any questions you can ask now? We discussed the string formatting as well. Now, next day, make sure you have installed MySQL on your computer, and then we're going to talk about file handling, how to read, how to write, how to delete. Likewise, and thereafter, we're going to talk about how to connect to a database, and then how we can read the values from a database, and how to write to a database. Likewise, we're going to discuss on the next day. Any questions up now? You can ask now. Thank you.